said he'd score it that way. You know, Parker had done a lot of missing. You know, they must have just scored it on Parker coming forward because he didn't really land anything. As a matter of fact, he didn't land much at all. You know, at very best, I give him probably 3 or 4 rounds out of it. I've been very kind to him when he opened up, landed a few flurries, but everything else he missed with. So I had Hughie a unanimous winner. I did. He could have landed more of the right hands, but at 23 years of age, he more than did enough in there. He more than did enough.
Did he stick to that game plan? Was that the game plan right through the whole fight?
Yeah, I just said, look, make him miss. I said, touch him up with a jab. I said, just catch him now and again with the right hand. I said, and see what he does. And he boxed toward us. You know, he could have done more with the right hand coming across. I kept telling him, I said, put more right hand over. And when he did throw it, he looked good doing it. And but he could have done more of that. But I've still had him a clear winner on it because he was the one landing the shots. Parker was doing nothing but missing everywhere. And Hughie, although he was moving, he was landing, touching Parker up. You know, he should have got it just on the jab alone. He should have won it.
Is that the best you've seen him box? Like pure boxing?
Best two.
Hughie.
It's hard to say. You know, it's for a world title fight. You know, Parker has always said he's a good fighter, and he is. But, you know, here we are. Look, we can't do anything about the decision, but in my view, we should have another world champion in the family, and that's not taking anything away from Joseph. So that's the way I scored the fight.
Peter, can you give us a reaction to the scorecards of 118, 112? What was your reaction?
I thought it was ridiculous, especially Terry O'Connor. He's had some stick from the border control. They switched him over. Obviously, he must have thought the pressure's on him, you know, do it that way. So I'm not amused with the scores at all. I think they're ridiculous, the scores, to be honest, because them scores is ridiculous. They need to look back at the tapes and see who was landing the shots there. But look, loss is a loss. 23 years of age. Done fantastic in there, shows he can take shots as well. You know, Parker done the best he could with him. But you can always tell a fighter's body language at the end. Parker knew he lost that fight. Parker put his head on the floor. He knew he lost it. So, but look, we're not the judges. We can only get in there and do our best, but I had Hughie a unanimous winner on it.
How did you have it scored, Peter?
I had Hughie at least 4 rounds ahead. At least. You know, because Parker did come on a few rounds, but I only give him 4 rounds out of 12, to be honest, because he was missing. He was swinging and missing. You don't score missing shots, you know, and falling short. You know, he obviously won it, Parker, by just coming forward. But there was no boxing involved because he didn't land much.
What's the plan next for Hughie? How are you going to go?
You know, we'll sit down and have a look at it. He's got a cut with another headbutt, and you know, he's 23-year-old. And we'll see what we're going to do where Mick wants to put it and take it from there. But again, politics in boxing has got in the way. And I feel Hughie's had a very bad decision in this today.
Peter, you're talking, obviously, starting with Marcus was switched with Terry. Do you feel there was a consequence of that maybe the judges put
I do. I think they're under world pressure. Parker's come over here. Everybody's thinking, oh, Parker's going to get a raw deal. And I think it's had an effect on the judges. I honestly do. Because my son sitting there should be crowned a world champion today, and he's not. All because of political, you know, influence.
They've been too keen to be seen to be
doing the right thing, and this is what you get, you know. But to lose that fight over here in your own country, it is a letdown, to be fair.
How painful is it for you as a father, not just as a trainer?
Listen, we're fighting people. We get punched up and down. We've been fighting all our lives. This is what we do. It's a boxing match. But when you've put that amount of work in, a young lad at 23, if you're going to win and take somebody's record, win properly. You know, don't rob young people, the boxers, for whatever political agenda's going on there, whether it's pressure, removing the referee, because that must have had an effect on them. I don't know what they was watching. You know, to be critical with Hughie, when he come back to the corner, I said, put a little bit more command on this. Get the right hand going. I said, put a little bit more authority there. Mix up your work. He could have done that a bit more. Don't get me wrong. Wasn't happy with his performance entirely because he could have done more with the right hand. And when he did release the right hand, he looked well doing it. But he didn't do that enough. So that was critical with him. But on the jab, touching Parker with the uppercut on the way in, making him miss. You know, Parker was walking onto everything, so I had him a unanimous winner, Hughie.
Peter, coming into the championship rounds, did you think Hughie Fury was comfortably ahead coming into those last 2 rounds?
Absolutely. I thought Parker needs a knockout. And he did try for the knockout.
He did.
He brought it and he never got it, did he?
Peter, Hughie's just turned 23, but on the back of that performance, you must still believe he can be world champion despite the boxing politics.
Well, of course, he's a world champion without a belt. So what can you do? I'm going to tell him, you are a world champion today. That's the way I see it. Not unless anybody professional can tell me otherwise. But my view, and a lot of people's view in the arena, not just family, people in the arena, and what I'm looking on social media is he's been robbed here. So what more can we say? So at 23 years of age, it's fantastic. It's just a very, very shame for me that I bring my fighters to this level to get a raw decision. You don't expect that.
Do you believe Hughie's ever really hurt in the fight as well?
No. With what?
Some of the right hands and stuff that hurt halfway through, people believe that Hughie was hurt.
Well, was his legs gone or something? Was he wobbling around the ring, was he? That's hurt to me. This is heavyweight boxing. You got to get wet. Not hurt at all. That's what I called hurt. When your legs are gone, you got to grab hold, take an 8 count. There's none of that, was he? Of course he wasn't there. It's rubbish.
Mick, just get over to what can anything be done? Is that it, or what's next?
We're going to be putting in an appeal straight away. We're going to protest this, and as strong as we can. We're going to get our lawyers behind it. I see it a lot clearer than that. I thought it was disgraceful. I thought that was a masterclass. I thought you just do not see masterclasses by 23-year-olds like that. I thought he wiped the floor with him. There were 2 rounds I gave clear to Parker. I cannot believe what I see tonight. What happened to the art of boxing? Do they score hitting fresh air? And do they score hitting elbows and arms? What on earth was everyone looking at there? What happened to the art of boxing?
Even Kevin Barry, his trainer, come over to me. He went, "That's a robbery." He said, "We thought we was lucky to get this."
Like you said, the body language told it all. I mean, I've never sat and felt so comfortable winning a fight in my life. I didn't even think for a split second that there could even be a dodgy decision. I'm sat there thinking, he's just wiped the floor with Joseph Parker. He's a super talent, 23. He's wiped the floor with him. I'm sitting there, never felt so comfortable. Listen, we're not all idiots. Billy Joe's sitting there, Tyson's sitting there, everyone's celebrating. Everyone thought it was an easy fight. Where's the controversy? I'm not being funny. What the fuck is going on? I mean, come on, let's tell the truth here. Let's everyone tell the truth. There's something going on and something behind bullshit decisions like that.
Would you get a rematch on the back of that, Mick?
That's got to be a worst case scenario. I want to get that overturned. I want to find out who's behind bullshit like that. I just like what is happening to this boxing game. I mean, the footwork, how light he glided round that ring, hitting him with jabs at will, touching him, explosive with it. It was like shades of Ali the way he was moving. Why can't that be appreciated? What the hell is going on?
Have you spoken to Robert Smith about it?
I spoke to Robert Smith in the ring there, and I said, "What's going on? Who's behind this bullshit? Where's this coming from?" To me, that's corruption at the highest level in boxing. And I know it's a strong word, but I'm telling you now, there's forces at work around this game.
Do you think it's an agenda against the Furies?
100%. Definitely.
Mick, I felt personally, looking at the performance, it seemed a bit of deja vu of Tyson Fury's win over Vladimir Klitschko. Is that how you felt? Obviously, you guys were elated, even before the decision was made. Is that how you saw it?
What we come back to after Tyson won the title?
Yeah, no, in the ring as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Performance just seemed
When we was in Germany, we knew we won that fight easy.
Yeah.
We all knew it. And then we was thinking, hang on a minute, but we're in Germany. And then we're thinking, but they can't even do that. They can't rob us in Germany. That was too one-sided. That to me was one-sided tonight. Yeah, that was one-sided tonight. That was disgraceful. And Terry O'Connor has obviously buckled under the pressure. He really has. I mean, I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost. I've seen it all now. I've really seen it all. A beautiful talent like that, boxing, an absolute masterclass. Everything Peter said in the game plan, he done. He absolutely done it. He was hitting him with clean right uppercuts, clean right hands. The jab all night didn't leave him alone. I mean, he just, you know, his engine was brilliant to the end. There was a few times where Joseph Parker looked explosive, and he put combinations together. But I'm sat there. He's my fighter, so I worry about him. And I'm sat there, and as the combinations are flying, I've seen him slip this way, whiz over his shoulder, slip under it, roll under it. The odd one might glance off his elbow or his arm. How are they scoring them shots?
Peter, do you believe there to be a persecution of the Fury family?
But look, you know, I did have Hughie winning it because Joseph missed a lot. He missed a lot of shots. We'll have to play the video back. Look, it's got nothing to do with the opposition. He's a young fighter, Joseph Parker, like Hughie. You know, it's nothing to do with the fighters, nothing to do with the teams. You know, but there is an agenda going on because, you know, they don't know boxing. They should have had a look at it. So I'm definitely not happy with it. But look, we'll have to see if anything can be done, but I don't think so, but we'll see.
Nick, do you think this agenda runs deeper than just tonight?
Well, listen, we know what we encounter en route to these fights. Putting these fights together, we've had a lot of things thrown at us, a lot of obstacles put in our way. There is obviously, from the whole thing in Dusseldorf, there is obviously, you know, some force going on to try and stop us in our tracks. I think so. I believe.
When you think of the fights that this could have led to, what has this decision cost you financially?
It's cost us everything. Look, one of the things I was sat there thinking when he was wiping the floor with Joseph Parker was that he'll do the same to Anthony Joshua. That's exactly what I was thinking. He can't handle movers, and Hughie Fury would put a masterclass on him as well. For me, he'd beat Deontay Wilder and Joshua on that performance.
Would you be confident in putting him in with the winner of Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz?
Look, he'd beat either of them. That was a masterclass tonight. Look, not only that, what he proved tonight as well is, which none of you knew, is he's as tough as old boots. You know, the odd clip that did get through, nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's proved that he's a major talent, and he's proved that he's a tough young man, and he can mix it at the highest level. And trust me, most of them fighters out there cannot handle master boxers like him. They cannot handle movers like him. But he weren't just running. He was moving. He was stepping. He was gliding. He weren't running. He was moving and punching. And that's the art of boxing at its highest level, and it was beautiful to watch.
Is that an option to go down another route now, chasing Wilder, or go that way instead?
Well, I'm sure a lot of doors will open, and I'm sure a lot of offers will potentially come in. But then again, with the way he boxes, maybe they won't. But you know, hopefully the networks will want him in the big fights, because you know, as I said, sometimes we got to think back to the greats of boxing and what boxing is all about, and that was it tonight in its purest form. And I just think what they done was disgraceful. Boxing's really suffered tonight, really suffered in a big way.
Did you think at any point that Joseph Parker was tired?
Yeah, I thought, I know Joseph Parker can do his 12 rounds. He's done on many occasions. You know, he's got some good fights, hasn't he? He fought Takam, Andy Ruiz, all good fighters. I take nothing away from what I've said previous. And I knew he'd do the rounds. But he knew he was in a fight. Hughie caught him with some good shots as well. So he couldn't really do what he wanted. And he just got frustrated. He got outboxed. Look, it's as simple as that. He got outboxed. He got outsmarted. And the decision has gone against him. I've got my own view why the decision has gone against him, but I'm not going to make that public. I'll speak to Mick about it. But we will look to go another route after tonight, for sure.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I wanted to make a really spectacular.
I wanted to get a knockout, but it's, in boxing things happen and things might not go the way you want it. So it's just about, like I said, improving, getting better. But I think next time I'll get the knockout. Who knows?
Joe, you talked about targeting the body a lot. Do you feel like you strayed away from that game plan?
Yeah, I think I sort of needed to punch the body more. Just his awkward style, you know, it's just trying to put on the pressure and chase him down. But I said, again, I said credit to him for his movement, it was good.
Did you think it was tight, Kevin? I'm going to say this to you. Did you think it was tight? I mean, there was a lot of talking going on in the corner there.
Oh, look, I thought it was a close fight. You know, I thought we had won. Joe came forward, he landed the bigger punches. Look, let's remember, at the press conference I said that I believe that Hughie Fury was the most awkward guy here in the UK, and there's a reason why he's undefeated, and there's a reason why people don't fight him. He's a very good boxer, but you can't win a fight if you're going backwards for 12 rounds. You know, Joe was the aggressor, he landed the power punches. In fact, you know, there were 2 or 3 times in the fight where he could have finished the night. But I think he got a little frustrated with Hughie's movement.
Were you getting a little frustrated there as well? Because there was a few calls that he was holding, Hughie was holding.
Well, you know, I talked to Marcus, the referee, and I was a little annoyed that he let him hold as much as he did. You know, I would have liked him to take a point off, because one thing that Hughie Fury does do really, really well is survive, and he's very good at wrapping and tying up. The only thing I was concerned about, he hit Joe in the back repeatedly, and also his head was getting very close to Joe's head. So yeah, they were concerns for me.
What have you learned? I mean, what have you learned? I mean, as you said, one of the most awkward fights you've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take from this fight. Just got to keep moving it. I mean, working on things that I showed weakness in the ring today. But we did a lot of things good. I think we want to focus on the positives, focus on the win, and celebrate with the team.
Happy with your fitness, Joe?
The fitness is good. I've got to win another 6-12 rounds. So.
Right, and the fast start that you wanted, Kevin, are you happy with that fast start?
You know, I think actually Joe landed a couple of really good punches in the first round that set the scene for the fight. Hughie realised that he couldn't stand there with Joe. He had to move a lot if he was going to survive, and that's what he did. He moved non-stop for 12 rounds.
And what does this mean? A guy who hasn't fought for 2 years, you were looking for the knockout, that didn't come. What does that mean in terms of going forward?
Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that we just came halfway across the world to Manchester. We fought an undefeated fighter who was 20-0, who was a world amateur champion, a fighter that other people do not want to fight, and we fought him in his backyard, and we beat him convincingly on 2 judges, and we had a draw on the other judge. So I think it's a pretty damn good performance. And what this does now is this sets the scene for us moving forward to doing business here in the UK.
Joe, how do you think the fight will be received by the British critics?
I don't know, mate. I don't know how the British critics think. How's the fight been received by the New Zealand critics?
No, I mean, we're all happy, obviously. But you come here to make a mark. Do you feel like that performance has achieved that?
Look, there were a lot of people who thought that Hughie was going to outbox Joe. A lot of boxers. You know, David Hay thought, he thought that Hughie would outbox us. Tyson said to me, I think, I really like Joe. He said, but Hughie's a very good boxer. People can't outbox Hughie. You know, we won convincingly on two international judges' cards. So I think it. Yes, and I think it has to be received very well.
Joe, Kevin talked about your maturity, that he felt that you've really grown in the last 6 months, but it's another step up that you've had to take after all the other fights that you've had. Do you feel that you've made that big jump in this fight?
I feel the jump was. I haven't made that jump yet. I feel like I improved a lot from the last fight, but there's still a lot to work on. So I'm excited about the improvements that I've made, but I'm more excited about what's to come and what I can keep learning and improving on and getting better on.
Joe, well done on your victory. 2 questions for you, bud. Hughie caught you with a few uppercuts as well.
Yeah.
Did he hurt you at all? And then, obviously, you caught him with some big shots. Was you surprised by his punch resistance?
He caught me with some shots coming in, so I just needed to work on my movement more. Like Kevin suggested, in between rounds, he didn't really hurt me. I don't think he's got good fast hands and he moves well, but I don't think he has a lot of power. I think I caught him with some good shots, and credit to him for dodging the other big shots that came his way.
Joe, it was feisty in the weigh-in. What was said after the match?
I just said, thanks for the great fight. I can do it again sometime in the future, but well done on coming in, putting on a great show. Here in your own backyard.
Public, well done.
Thank you.
David, you've got to move this sort of forward now. I mean, what's your summation of the performance, and how does that sort of position you going forward?
I think that everything was against us heading in, and Hughie was incredibly tricky. He moved very slickly on his feet for a man that size, and tucked his shoulder, and he wasn't looking for the knockout and moving back. It's hard to knock a guy like that out. So I'm just relieved we got the win. Like Kevin said, I thought it was close. I think I should pay credit to the British Boxing Board of Control because I think they were pretty straight in this case, so credit where it's due. Next steps, it's exciting, you know, if we're taking a loss, it's back to the drawing board in some ways, but, you know, promotionally it's exciting. The world is our oyster now because we have a voluntary, not a mandatory, which means instead of being forced into one fight, we can negotiate multiple deals at the same time and on our terms. And Kevin and I are looking at options as far afield as Japan. No Japanese heavyweight has ever fought for the heavyweight world title in Tokyo. And there's, you know, our promotional partner Bob Aaron in the United States with his new ESPN deal. So the world is our oyster, and Kevin and I with a lot of work analysing over the next couple of weeks, and we'd like to get back in the ring again pretty quickly, maybe even before the end of the year.
Dillian White's already called Joe out on Twitter. Is he someone you look at fighting as a voluntary?
We look. It's all risk return. We look at everyone. Dillian White calls everyone out every week, doesn't he?
Joe, how are you going to celebrate tonight?
First, you're gonna do this drug test, get that out of the way, and then just relax with the team. You know, it's not just efforts from myself; it's efforts from all the team. And there's a lot of people that travel here to watch me fight and support me. The people from New Zealand, Vegas, Hong Kong. So going to get together as a team, celebrate, and enjoy the night.
How did you feel to fight in front of a foreign crowd for a change?
It's exciting. It's exciting because it's something new, and you're gonna, you know, they're cheering for him, so you really want to make a big upset. So.
Joe, before the fight, you said you were interested in staying in London and basing yourself there. Any changes on that?
I meant basing myself here in terms of fighting more here, you know, because of the heavyweight scene. But we have a great setup in Vegas, so we're happy with. We've got our own gym. You know, I live back home in New Zealand where my family is, so I think I want to spend more time here fighting-wise.
David, you had a big crack at Eddie Hearn during the week. Will you be giving him a ring now to try and jack up a fight?
Well, I didn't really have a crack. I just pointed out that he reneged on me, and that you know, it's a business, and he's been around a long time. I don't think he's going to delete my phone number. It's, if the deal makes sense, the fight will happen.
So will you be calling him in the next couple of days?
We'll reach out, but you know, there's actually some other options. A lot of his guys that we look at are tied up towards the end of the year. So Kevin and I have some other exciting.
Forced you to maybe look further afield?
Well, we have to look further afield, but further afield could be a better option than Balu, and you know, we could then look at the winner of Hay Balu in the new year.
How are your parents holding up, Joe? You put them through the ringer in that fight.
My parents are good. You know, they trust the work that Kevin and I have put into training camps, and they trust that we're well prepared. So whatever the result, they're happy with as long as they know that we've worked hard leading into this fight.
So are you going to stick around in the UK, or are you going to come back for the Pulev and Joshua fight as well?
I think I'm going to go home. I've been away from home for a long time now. I have to go see my daughter, see my family, see my friends, and maybe come back. But I think we need a bit of a break now. Sure. Enjoy some burgers and pizzas.
Joe, when the 118, 110 scorecards were read out, you were shaking your head. What was going on?
You know, I knew that I did enough to win, and I knew that I won convincingly. But we're in Manchester, you know. And some of the scorecards in other fights sort of weren't sort of live up to what happened in the fight. So I thought, you know, might have got taken away from us. But I was confident I did the work in the ring, and I did enough to win.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, guys.
Good man.
Danke.
Well done, Joe.